Esports. We'll begin with questions from the online media and then move to the in-house. I believe Miguel has the first question.
Thank you. First of all, guys, congrats on the win. That's a strong start for Americas. My question, well, it's rather than an observation. And the next round, we are going to have the 4 champions. We have the 4 region champions, Americas, Pacific, EMEA, and China. Jogemo did the prediction that he wanted to face Kang, and well, we're going to have that match. Right now, with the current meta, we've seen that some compositions that used to be traditional with jet arrays are being replaced by compositions using Yoru as solo duelists. So my question would be for Jogemo. Do you think that right now we are entering a new Yoru era, or is it just like the current state of the meta?
I definitely think it's the current state of the meta. I mean, there's a lot of Teho, there's a lot of Yoru, there's a lot of like reach too. So I mean, like absorbing a lot of utility and getting out of the win is pretty broken in my opinion. So that's why we've been kind of pressing the Yoru a little bit more. There's still some raised maps that are still good. There's still jet maps that are applied on certain maps as well, but Yoru is just like overpowered right now.
Thank you.
Thank you. We'll go to Pedro Romero next.
Hey guys, congrats on the victory over TE today. I got a question over to Valen. I mean, it's kind of I want to tie this recent match to the one you're gonna have in a few days, the one against EDG. I mean, given that you previously faced against EDG back in Champions, I want to ask you just sort of how do you view the current, or more so differentiate the form that team is going on, and also given that you guys are coming off of a match against Trace Sports, what did you kind of get a sense, or how did you sense the Chinese game in the server, and how does that kind of compare to what you've seen between Trace and EDG?
Yeah, so I think EDG definitely has a lot of confidence in their form because they won champions last year and they won their last match as well. So they probably feel very hyped, very energetic, but so do we. So we're going to have to see who's the better team tomorrow. In terms of facing Chinese Valorant, I think that we have a good grasp on the game. We understand how to approach different compositions, different styles. And so we're very flexible in that sense. So whoever we play, we just, talk about the game, talk about how we predict it's going to go down. I'm just excited to see the Jogamo versus Kong matchup. So I'm excited to play tomorrow.
Thank you. Are there any questions from either the in-house or remote media? I feel like this might be a short one. Pedro, we'll come back to you again. Go ahead.
I'm going to send this one over to Trent. I'm looking at that t-shirt. It kind of reminds me of like the one in which Jonah P wore back in Seoul. Is it basically the same as it is, from back then, just promoting the bundle and all that good stuff? And also, if you can translate what that means, then that'll also be good.
Yeah, it's basically just promoting the bundle. It says
No, but what does it say?
please buy the G2 bundle.
Cub.
Cub.
Can you try to say it in Thai?
No, I have no idea how to pronounce this.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
We'll go to Alejandro next.
Yeah, I have a question for, well, anyone who wants to answer it. And it's that this is the second time that you will be facing EDG. And I just want to ask, what will be the most important thing to do now, since now is there a duelist change, and maybe EDG know what is your strat because you already beat them in the past. So what's going to be the different thing that is going to change to beat them again?
Yeah. All right, I got it. What would change? I think the meta has shifted a lot since the last time they played. They were the masters at playing Neon, and they kind of pushed that into the whole scene. But now I feel like we're ahead in the meta. I think we're spearheading it. We're making sure like everybody sees how we play, and I feel like the dynamic here, the matchup will be a little bit different. But at the end of the day, it's EDG. There's big performers on the other side, but we also have big shooters.
Thank you. We'll go next to Miguel.
Thank you. My question would be for Balin. Back a couple of days on the pre-event conference, you mentioned that the incorporation of Juggernaut to the team bring more confidence that maybe you didn't have last year, and you had a great start. I mean, you started winning kickoff on the league, and right now you are off to a strong start here at Masters. What would be the current feeling of the team with the trophy in your hands and right now with this win?
I mean, when I look to my right and I look to my left, I just see the best players in every single role, to be honest. And so I have max confidence going into every game. Like, I have the best supports with Trent and Jonah P, the best duelist, and Leaf can play everything. So being the IGL this year feels like I have a very simple responsibility, and that's just to make sure I put my guys in the best situations possible. Because if I can do that properly, I know they will thrive and they'll win the game for me. I don't even have to do anything. So shout out to my team. They're the best team.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Cub. Thank you, Cub.
Thank you. We'll go back to Pedro for the next question.
I'm gonna send this one out to Jogimo. I know that you said a little bit at the start of this conference regarding like your play on Yoru, and given the fact that like literally before this year you've only played Yoru once in a map, in one map. Pretty crazy, but nevertheless, what I want to ask you though is as of now, with having plenty of Yoru maps logged in under your belt, do you feel like you're like 100% comfortable, or do you feel like not as well? Do you feel like you're not there yet? Where do you kind of see that level for you?
Yeah, definitely for Yoru's, there's always room to improve. There's a lot of stuff that you don't get to do on Yoru that you get to do on like Raze or Jet, whatever the case is, but the creativity is like all there for it. So I think the help of Josh and my teammates like helping me figure out what's the best ideal situation for certain stuff. I mean, I wouldn't be able to do it without them. So yeah.
Thank you. I believe that was the last. If we have a question on site, go ahead.
Hello, guys. Congrats with the win. I'm Solera from VOA.gg. I have two questions, if that's okay. My first question will be to Jogimo. So you're going against Kang, and there will be extra tension, extra pressure on you. So I was curious if there's any. I know that you said multiple times in the interviews that you don't care about other people, you only focus on what you are doing. But I was curious if there's any extra mental preparations that you do before big matchup against like strong duelist.
I definitely don't look at the name or who I'm playing. I don't really think about what team we're playing. It's like I kind of figure out their tendencies throughout the match, especially my teammates. They know how to like counter majority duelists. I mean, I've been that duelist where they countered me at 1.2 when I was on EG. So I don't really have any pressure or anything like that. I mean, I get to play against another world champ. I think that's like the best part about it all. But it definitely definitely get to see who's the better one tomorrow. So yeah.
Super excited to see it. Thank you. And my second question is to Valen. And it's super short. Is America cooked?
We're here to save America.
Great to hear. Thank you so much. Good luck
America.
in the next round.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Buy G2 and EDG bundle.
Yeah. And Talon bundle.
And Tom.
And Pedro, I feel like you will have the last question of the night. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm gonna send this one to Josh. I mean, we've now been able to see all 8 teams play their first match in this competition, your team included. But what I want to ask you, sort of out of curiosity, is sort of given that the game and also the season is at a very early stage, and we've seen plenty of teams tweak things either like during this match or during this event or even during kickoff. How do you kind of view the current meta right now, and also what do you think that's the one thing that stood out to you the most in terms of just trying to navigate all of that wildness so far in this phase of the year?
Looking at the field, I think there's one team that stands out in my mind. I have high respect for this coach and how he ran his team for many years, and that's DRX. I think they have a really solid read on the meta currently, and I was thoroughly impressed when they were able to make that turnaround after about like a week after they finished first in their region. We had a tough time playing against Sentinels, and I saw them dismantle Sentinels with 2 new compositions, and they were using new ideas that I really enjoyed watching. So I'm excited to see more from them.
G2, thank you so much for taking the time to speak with us. This will conclude the press conference.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
There you go.